How's it going, everyone? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another test drive video. Today we are in my 1987 Chevrolet Suburban four-wheel drive with 88,485 miles. Right, so again, we have an 87 Chevrolet Suburban four-wheel drive. This is a factory four-wheel drive Suburban, which is really cool. The Carfax represents 88,000 original miles. I definitely believe that to be the true mileage on the truck. I don't have any additional paperwork outside of the Carfax, but it runs and drives fantastic. It has a throttle body injected 350. I believe it to be the original motor, but I could not find a VIN on the block. But the throttle body injection works exactly like it should. Factory overdrive transmission. This thing will cruise at 65, 70, 75 miles an hour. The factory four-wheel drive works great. And just an awesome driving four-wheel drive square body. Don't do a ton of Suburbans, but when I do get them, they always sell really, really quick, especially the four-wheel drive ones. On the exhaust system, it's stock manifolds. You do have an aftermarket muffler and tailpipe. Not a very loud setup at all. You can put some dual exhaust and flow masters if you wanted to. But as you can see, we're cruising down this road, goes down the road nice. Steering wheel's off-center just a little bit to the left, but doesn't have any pulling left or right. You have power steering, power front disc brakes, and then you do have factory AC. This factory AC up front does blow nice and cold. It does have the rear AC in the back. The blower motor kicks on, but it's extremely loud. The blower motor for the rear definitely needs to be replaced, but the front AC works well. On the interior, it's the factory gray interior. The dash obviously has some splits in it. The driver's seat here right behind me has kind of a torn vertical spot. The armrests are older. A lot of the interior, actually probably most of the interior is original. New mats though, carpet looks good. Headliner's in really nice shape, but it is falling down and needs to be re-glued. But the headliner itself, front and rear, is very nice. It is missing the dome lens cap in the back, right below the rear AC. You can get those aftermarket for a couple dollars. You can get a dash cap for it. You can get the seat fixed if you want to, but for original interior, it shows nice. Unfortunately, this was a factory third row truck. I do not have the third row seats with it at some point in the truck's life. They were removed, so I do not know when or where that third row is, but you can source them online and have it recovered to match. But overall, interior for being original is nice. You do have your standard options like tilt and cruise. Then you have an aftermarket stereo here. And then as far as your items that are not working, again, I talked on the blower motor for the rear AC. Your voltage gauge is not doing anything. The reverse lights do not work, but your horn is good. Let me pull up my does it work section here real quick just so I give you guys accurate info. So the voltage gauge, the fuel gauge, the reverse lights, and then the power windows work, but they're a little slow. And then the power locks will work, but the arm on the passenger rear door for the power lock, you can just lift the little mechanism out so the little arm is broken. So some simple stuff not working, about an afternoon or a weekend's worth of work for someone to get every little thing working if you have to. But we're here for the mechanicals, so we'll test out the little throttle body injected 350. But these motors run well. This is a big heavy truck though, so not going to win you any races. But the motor runs good. Shifts well. Easy Suburban to drive. On the underneath, it's good and solid. Floors, frame rails, inner rockers, bottom side of the truck in the back, everything is very solid. Don't see any current rust issues or really rushed repair. Just a good solid four-wheel drive. On the exterior, it is an older truck cosmetically. It is the factory two-tone steel gray and apple red. Looks like most of the truck was repainted at some point. I think the top of the truck, the roof, is probably original paint. And it's faded a little bit, but the sides look good. It's got a nice shine to it, but it's got little imperfections in the paint, little nicks, little scuffs. There's a couple horizontal scratches that have been touched up on the driver's door over here. Most of the trim, the emblems, all that stuff's probably original, so it's got some age to it. The wheels are the 15-inch rallies. You do have tires on there that are from 2000, I think 10 and 11, but they have no dry rot or cracking that I can visually see. But I would probably swap to a BFG. I'd put a little 2 or 3 inch little lift or level kit on this truck, go with some white letter all-terrain BFGs, and it would just change the look of this truck. Would just look killer with those white letter tires. But cosmetically, again, it's older, still very presentable. Doors open and close well, barn doors open and close well in the back. And I think the two-tone is just a really good looking truck. Under my additional informations tab, I'm going to have photos of the clean Carfax, photos of the motor numbers, my does it work section, and images of all the cosmetic shortcomings on the exterior as well as the interior. But still a very clean pickup, or excuse me, Suburban, not pickup, for the price point. All of the OBS four-wheel drive stuff is just always super desirable. I keep a lot of K10s. I'll get a Suburban from time to time. I don't regularly keep them, but this one, just being a cool truck with a great look, thought it was a good one to bring in. Suspension wise is all stock. You do have the steering dampener up front. Shocks do feel good. It's a very, very comfortable road feel. I'd feel comfortable hopping in this thing and driving it wherever someone would want to go. It feels very strong mechanically. With the tilt, larger individual can fit in here. Road position or driving position is very comfortable. Steering wheel goes way up, seat goes a little bit further back. Center console has something that was mounted on the front of it at one point. There's like a little spin knob there. I don't know what was mounted there, maybe like a CB radio or something at some point. Center console opens and closes, but the little thing needs some adjustment to lock it into place a little better. Glove box opens and closes properly. The spit decal's in there. Kicks down like it should. For me, what I would do again is I would buy a dash cap. I would fix the little spot on the driver's seat here. You can have an interior shop clean that up to the best of their ability. I'd get a little dome lens cap or a little cargo light cap for the rear light in the back. Put a blower motor on the rear AC. Put some white letter BFGs. Fix the fuel gauge because it's moving around. It is pegged at full and then it kind of moves a little bit. Fix that stuff and then you're good to go. Have a fun little Suburban. Actually, I take that back. It's not little because this thing is like a land yacht. Have a fun, large Suburban is probably a better term. But very, very comfortable to drive. An enjoyable square body Suburban. If y'all haven't already seen the virtual description video, make sure you check that out along with the additional informations tab. Both are posted on the website, pcclassiccars.com. There's a lot of good information in both of those, in that link for the extra photos as well as the virtual description video that's not in this one. I dive into some little tighter particulars that's not in the test drive video. So try to put good information in all of my stuff. A little bit of a different feel for both videos. Get after here one more time. Downshift's good, positive upshift. One thing I didn't touch on is there is some aftermarket speakers in the dash on the top on both sides. So if you are going to get a dash cap, you'd have to address that, but it wouldn't be too hard for an interior shop. Or you could just buy an aftermarket dash pad itself and then get rid of those speakers and put them down in the kick panels or even in the back. There is some speakers and a little amp in the back behind the second seat there. I forgot to touch on that. Definitely a good truck. And as always, I appreciate y'all stopping in. We'll catch you guys on the next video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Forgot to touch on the glass. All the glass is an original shape and it shows nice. The power windows do go down, but they are a little slow like the square bodies are notorious for. But all the glass is easy to see out of. It doesn't really have any major issues. There's my one owner IROC that's about to come up for photos, so keep an eye out on the website for that one if you haven't already seen it.